Hello, everybody. Well, welcome to McBiz, the radio show of the Martin County Business Exchange Club. Lee Carroll here with Big Frank Mezzapel on the board, the co-host, Big Shot. Hey, Frank, good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Lee.
Glad
Back
to be
in the big chair once again.
Yeah, I'll be gone next week. Stuff's going on. John Campion will be taking over the co-host spot next week. But this week, you and me and our double guest. We have a bonus with a female guest.
Right.
Are you allowed to say female anymore?
I think we can, yes.
Oh, okay.
I think we still can.
I know there's stuff you can't say anymore. I'm still trying to figure all that out. Anyway, Martin County Business Exchange Club, just a plug for the club again, who sponsors this show. We bring a guest member of the club here every week to talk about themselves and their club, and hopefully make it, their business, and hopefully make it an interesting drive home for people. And the Business Exchange Club meets every Wednesday morning, and we have the show on Wednesday night. I'd like to have the guest that was speaking during the morning breakfast be the guest on the radio show. It is not you just join the club like you would something. You have to be invited in, but and it's category specific. We're not going to have 4 insurance agents, 14 car salesmen, that kind of stuff in there. There's one per category, but there's lots of categories, and there's books running around all over the place of the members. Check it out. If you're a business category in there, the odds are if you're a business in Martin County, you will know probably half the people on that list. And check with one of them and say, hey, I think I might be able to fill the bill. So please check that out, Martin County Business Exchange. We're on the internet, but I can never remember the address. You'll have to tell them that, Frank.
mcbe.org or McBiz.us.
With biz being a Z.
B-I-Z, yes.
And and it's designed for big shots in the businesses.
We like the principals,
the
like
principals,
we have today.
Owners,
Managers,
kind of folks to go here. You don't join it and then send your secretary. I'm not even sure you can say secretary anymore. Personal assistant.
Yes.
Can't do that.
No.
That's not what it's all
not,
about.
Yeah.
And today we have a veteran returning guest today, plural, Gail Goldie and Angel Chavez from the I Care Community Magazine. We welcome Angel and Gail to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the I Care Community Magazine. What in the world is I Care Community Magazine? Now, you know what it is, Frank, and I know what it is, but I'll bet you some of our 43 listeners don't know.
That's right.
And maybe
does that have to do with reading glasses?
Maybe. We're going to find out.
Let's find out. What do you think, Angel?
Well, I Care Community Magazine, it's actually what the name says it is. It's that I care about community, and I care about the businesses and everybody that lives in this community. That's basically what the name means.
Now let's spell the word I. This word I is not spelled E-Y-E. It's spelled just that one letter I, right?
Yes, make it personal.
Like Angel Cares or Gail Cares, I Care.
There you go.
Community
Everyone
Magazine.
should take it, make it personal. That's the idea.
And the idea behind the magazine is to inform the public of what?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that it's just like Martin County Business Exchange, where you have local professionals that are in this professional group talking about and promoting their business within the community. That's exactly what this magazine does. It's for local professionals to promote their business. And Angel, the community, I Care community, does an excellent, excellent job of doing that.
Right. And how do they do that excellent job of doing that, Gail?
They do that by doing interviews with the owners. We have cover positions available where the owner will be featured on the cover with a double-page story in the center. So you can tell your story about how you started your business, what your business actually is, what it's comprised of, and how you go about doing business on the Treasure Coast.
Now, is this form of advertising any good? I mean, do people get any benefit from it? Now, this is a pretty soft question, I got to admit, but what the heck?
Well, of course, it's a wonderful publication, and the proof in the pudding is that we have lots of testimonials. If you go onto our website, you can click on our testimonial page, and you'll see testimonials from a lot of the people who have been advertising with I Care Community.
Now, you mentioned the website. How do people go to your website? What's the address?
The address is iCareTown.com.
So we got to remember to put town in there.
Yes, iCare, the letter I, caretown.com.
So if somebody is a business person and wants to have advertise and present themselves to the community by way of the magazine, how does it get distributed, and how many issues do you produce, and how often?
Okay, we publish 9 times a year, and during the summer months, we publish every other month. So starting next month in May, our next edition for April will be out April 1st. So I'm saying next month, meaning May. So we have a May, June, July, August, September, October, and then we go back into the monthly format. So that's our publication, is 9 times a year. Our distribution, we distribute approximately 10,000 throughout the community to all the doctors' waiting areas, hospitals, library. We're in the automotive. All of the car dealerships have our publication. It's also in the hair salons, barbershops, Chamber of Commerce.
So wherever there's a professional coffee table or magazine rack, right?
That's correct,
So,
yes.
so a lot of people probably picked up your magazine, didn't realize it's locally produced, and you guys are in charge of it.
That's right. It does say, I mean, we do have on there, know your local professional, and we also do have a little placard on the front that says this publication is free. So it encourages people to pick them up while they're in the doctor's offices. You know, a lot of people, when they sit in the doctor's offices, and those who are reading magazines or something instead of on their phone, they oftentimes will pick up a magazine, and there's an article in there that they'd like to keep or would like to,
Maybe
remember.
finish reading.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
So, they don't want to take the magazine. And so we have solved that solution, that problem, and we've put on there free. So now they can feel comfortable leaving the doctor's office or the barber shop or the tire shop or the oil change with the magazine in hand.
And what would be a typical, you have a couple issues in front of you. Tell us about the type of folks that have the testimonials and the articles about their business in your magazine.
Well, we have a lot of doctors. A lot of doctors do an article in there. We also, one thing that is really important is that the magazine does focus really on the local community. There are usually a column in there that is from the local sheriff in the Martin County edition. Several times a year we have a column in there by the sheriff, Will Schneider. We've featured Ruth Ski. I won't try to say her last name because I would butcher it.
Pietraszewski, but that's okay.
Pietraszewski.
Yep, okay. Our tax collector, our local tax collector, and she does an article on whatever the topic is of her choice that she'd like to inform the people about. It could be about the new driver's license. I know she and I spoke about doing her next column on the new changes to the driver's licenses.
There's changes again?
There will be changes to the driver's
Oh, my
license, yeah.
Now, I'm looking at a sample that Angel handed to me here. There's a section about kids, technology, nutrition, fitness, health. Here's one for you, Frank. Seniors.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, I needed that.
Real estate, finance, and legal. Well, you might need the legal part.
Yeah.
And about pets. So that's quite a diverse set of articles in this particular one I just happened to pick up, which happens to say March 2018. So how about that's fairly recent.
Mm-hmm.
All our communities are the same. I mean, in the topics.
Right. And so they can count on something about the health and seniors and real estate and basically every issue then, right?
Yes. Yes.
There you go. There's the senior part, page 20, Frank.
All right.
And I might also add that the articles that are in here are very timely. So if there's a topic that is happening, something that's fresh in the news, there may be an article in the publication. For example, when Zika was so familiar and it was, on the
the virus.
Yes, the
All right.
Zika, the mosquito bite. There was an article in here explaining all about Zika. Same thing with the flu. So if there's an epidemic of flu or whatever, there will be generally an article, something very timely that, is making it much easier for people to understand a lot about what they're hearing.
Well, it's funny
Yeah,
talking about
that's
Zika to go off on a tangent, which we're
All right.
really good at around here.
We
Talking about
specialize in tangents.
about the Zika, I remember a couple of times I went to the doctor,
Yeah.
and I do go overseas most of the time, at least once a year.
Okay.
And so I was in a doctor. I was a couple of times, and they said, "Have you been to any foreign countries or Miami lately?"
Yeah.
And I went, "Wait a minute! I didn't. I know it seems like a foreign country, but I didn't realize that Miami was a foreign country." And they said, "No, we asked that because it had the Zika, and we need to know if you've been to Miami." Because that would be a different protocol in the sense that I guess they have to test you to make sure you had Zika or didn't have Zika, a virus about it. It was kind of cool though, any foreign country or Miami.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people would consider Miami a foreign country.
It sure seems like it.
It is.
Wow.
I've been to a lot of foreign countries that weren't English was the number one language, and they spoke better English than they do in Miami.
Yes.
And interestingly,
Editorial comment, not any relation to WSTU, just a fact.
and interestingly, Angel is from down in that area, Miami. I think when he came from Angel from Peru.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Angel later on
Oh,
here.
okay.
Don't
Okay.
spill the
Oh.
beans. We're going to
Okay.
after the break. We're going to do our traditional. Let's talk about how the people got where they are
okay.
segment.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's our tease, though. See, that was very
There you
good,
go.
Gail, because our listeners going
Gail is a real big teaser.
right. Because when we go to break at the bottom of the hour, then when we come back, we're going to learn more about it.
So everybody,
Yeah.
keep your radio
You have to
on.
stay
Don't
tuned.
tune out.
That's
Stay
right.
tuned to find out all about Angel.
That's right. If you're driving in home and you stay in your driveway, leave the car on.
exactly.
Just not in your garage with the car on.
That's right.
Speaking of foreign countries, you hear about that family from Iowa?
Yes, they went to
that
Mexico.
They rented a condo in Mexico, and they all died,
Yeah.
and they think it's from inhaling escaping gas
Yeah.
from the hot water heater.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear what it was
Carbon
called.
mon-
What
well,
they
they
thought it
said
was called.
carbon
but-
monoxide
oh, wow.
poisoning.
Yeah, which they think came from the hot water heater. Boy, that's horrible.
Very
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Absolutely
Wow.
horrible.
Wow.
It's totally
Yeah.
unrelated to Zika, but boy, there's nothing remotely humorous about that.
No,
That's a terrible,
no.
terrible thing.
So traveling outside of the country is always fraught with some sort of peril. You
Yeah.
never know.
Whoa. And and there's a lot of peril in Mexico anyway.
Yeah.
Right now, and they didn't think it was going to happen inside their condominium silently.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely horrible. Now, if somebody wanted to get in touch with the magazine, I mean, is it something like every issue you need somebody new, or you pretty much have the contributors that you need now? How does somebody reach you guys if they want to participate?
Well, as we mentioned, the website is www.icaretown.com. They can contact us through that, or they can give us a call. And my number is 772-233-7332, and that'll get you in touch with Gail. And here's what we generally do. We feature a different professional on the front cover every publication. That is such a popular position in the publication that Martin County is currently sold out for all of 2018 and half of 2019 right now.
That is incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
That is incredible.
The results that the clients receive from being on the front cover is astounding. I mean, we just have a testimonial that I spoke with someone today regarding their ad for next month because they were on the cover. They were actually on the cover for the month of March. Excuse me. Dr. Fisher. And she is just beside herself. She can't believe the number of calls and new patients that she's gotten from the publication.
Right. We've had her here on the radio. She's
Yeah.
a delightful lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know I saw her and she said to me, "Oh, I'm going to do a testimonial." And I said, "Well, we'll be on the radio today, so listen in." So hopefully she's listening in and maybe she'll call in and
Well, let
tell
us
you
know
about it.
because then we'll up the number of listeners from 43 to 44.
That's right. Yeah, see, every week we seem to, glean more listeners that we didn't know we had.
Right,
Yes, yes.
exactly.
Yes.
A
You
couple
know-
of them we didn't want to know about.
The nice thing about the Eye Care Community magazine is that it sets itself apart from just your regular newspaper ads.
Right.
You know,
Well, the testimony, I've known you for years now, and you've talked about the power of testimonials far more than just general advertising. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, actually, with advertising, and this has been coming on for about the last, I'd say, 15 years. However, a lot of the magazines and such out there really never caught on to it. And that's the power of the story. The story is what captures the reader.
Story is probably a better word to use than testimonial, really, than
Yes.
about that.
Yeah. So when you tell a story, you engage the reader. The reader wants to know the outcome. They want to. You pull them in, and you feed them information through the story, and that's how you get your message across. And that leaves an impression that when they are ready for whatever your service is, they're going to be familiar with your name, and they're going to remember something about that story that was told. And that's why we say that whenever you do some type of an ad, you really put in a little testimonial from a client that you have that's promoting your product with the great success that they had from using your product.
Right, or your service.
Or your
that you've
service.
Done for
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And I know before you talked about how you had an eye surgeon, optometrist, ophthalmologist that on there that got patients that were helped because they read testimonials from other people, and they said, "Wait a minute, that article could be about me. I need." Maybe to check that out.
Right. That's exactly right. When someone reads something and the person who is telling the story, they're very, very happy to tell about the success because it helped them. And everybody has a spot in their heart that wants to help someone.
Right.
So if it's just that, gee, I found the best plumber in the world, and the best plumber in the world came out when I needed them. They came out on a holiday. They came out 3 hours before I was having dinner. Guests. And fixed my problem, didn't overcharge me, and everything wound up being very, very good. So if I read that story about that plumber that did that, you know that if I'm going to be having a problem with plumbing, I'm going to remember all of those great things that were said about that plumber.
Right.
And that's who I'm going to call.
Right. Now, the range of people that are in the magazine, the businesses that are represented in the magazine, give us an idea of what they are. And the issues that are around, floating around right now, the type of folks that are in your magazine.
We have chiropractors, we have pharmacists, we have eye doctors. What is Dr. Bain Clinic? What is it? She does
Bain Clinic, yep.
Oh, yeah, she's a vascular surgeon.
Actually, she's been in our publications since the first issue over 6 years ago.
Wow, must be happy with that.
That's her right here.
Oh.
And she's a doctor, heart doctor.
Vascular heart.
Yeah, that's a heart doctor. She used to operate hearts,
Mm-hmm.
but then she says she got a little bit stressed out about that, and now she's helping fixing legs.
Well, I'll tell you what, if she can fix legs like the one in this advertisement,
baby.
Frank,
All right.
that's good. And did you notice the front of this magazine has 8 pretty women on the cover of it?
Yes,
Did notice that, didn't you?
Yes, it didn't escape my glance. Yes.
And for Treasure Coast Health, helping people find happiness once again through help and grief support.
We have a caller on the line who
Aha.
wants to talk to Gail and Angel. How you doing, caller?
Yes, hi. This is Dr. Ellen Fisher calling in, and I just wanted to confirm everything that Gail and Angel has said. And I am over the moon with the response that I've gotten with the eye care community. And I just want to let everybody know that there's a reason why the covers and the stories are sold out for the next year, because it's such a beautiful publication. It is so full of educational articles that are from good sources. And for me, it has just truly introduced me to this community. And myself and my dog, who's on the cover with me, who also is at my office a lot, we've become sort of local celebrities. We just never expected that, but it goes even beyond that. It really does allow me as a medical practitioner to help people, and they know what I do. And this single-handedly has really put me into the forefront of the community, and I just thank them both so much.
All right.
All right,
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Dr. Fisher. It's a pleasure.
Thank you,
And,
Dr. Fisher.
Yeah.
That's about as good as it gets.
Yeah,
right there.
I think so. Well, I think what more can you say, right?
Well, also,
Yeah, we're
I've never
delighted
been
that
in an
you-
office of somebody that has a dog that wasn't a nice person.
Right. See, there you go.
Something special when they have dogs.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Carol Waxler has the best dog of anybody that whose office I've ever been in. So if you know Carol Waxler, you got to go tell her I gave a plug for her dog.
Okay, well, we have to give a plug for Dr. Fisher's dog, Allie.
There you
Allie
go,
Gator.
Allie.
Yes,
Yes.
and she is the treasure of Dr. Fisher's heart, I know, and she's just a wonderful, wonderful little doorbell for Dr. Fisher.
Oh,
She greets everyone as they come in.
Alligator.
I love it.
Now, is there a reason for the Gator nickname on that?
I think so.
Tell-
Of course, the University of Florida.
Go Gators, eh?
Well done. All right. Well, Dr. Fisher,
Thank
thanks
you.
again for calling.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you so much, and God
Thanks.
bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be right back after this brief message. All right, now it's time for today's Southeast AgNet Report, brought to you by Everglades Farm Equipment, a family-owned business for the past 50 years with 10 Florida locations, including Fort Pierce, Okeechobee, and Loxahatchee. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to McBiz, radio show of the Martin County Business Exchange Club. Lee Carroll here with Big Frank Mazapel and our guest, Gail Goldie and Angel Chavez. Gail's been on the show before, but she's told her story. People have heard Frank's and mine ad nauseum. So we're going to turn the show over to Angel a little bit and try to personalize this. My guess, Angel, is that you were not born and raised in Martin County. So kind of tell us how Angel Chavez ended up in Martin County.
Martin County. Sure. Actually, I'm original from Peru. I'm from the north part of Peru, and my American name is Angel Chavez, but my real Peruvian name is Angel Rafael Chavez Sabanto.
Wow.
You get that, Frank?
That's a mouthful.
Yes, for the records.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just for the record. Okay. Got to get it accurate. Okay. All right.
In case anybody's
We
checking.
strive for accuracy, even here at the radio station.
And you are right. I wasn't born here. I'm still learning English, and but I'm the happiest. Probably I'm the happiest man around here. So
Yeah.
Oh, that's great to hear.
I'll attest to that. I've never seen Angel do anything but smile. He is always happy.
thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, very true. Very true. All right, so you started out in Peru. What happened in Peru? How'd you end up in the United States?
Well, it was probably the little town where I was born. It's the name is Paucamarca. It's in the north part of Peru, close to Ecuador, maybe the jungle of Brazil.
Okay.
And when I was 12 years old, almost 12 years old, my father and mother decided that there was no more future for me there in that town because there was no more school.
So school ended in basically, what, 6th grade, equivalent
Yes.
of 5th or 6th grade?
Fifth grade. So they sent me to the city to live with a brother. That's a brother that went to work all day and went to the university at night, and I didn't see him, really. But
Is that a good thing
was-
when you're 13 years old, or a bad thing?
It was not really a good thing. It was a very lonely thing.
I bet.
But anyway, that's how that was the decision they made, and that's how I got to go to school. And
So they pawned you off to your big brother in the city, and he abandoned you anyway.
he was a single person at that
Mhm.
time, and he was just working and studying himself. But I did graduate from high school, and then I went to the university. Now, when you go to the university in our country, it's a little bit different. You gotta give this big exam, and there is probably about 30,000 people to compete, maybe for 22,000 positions.
Oh, my.
So that means you have to study hard. You have to prepare yourself because there's a lot of competition. And
So the math tells you that about 1 out of every 15 make it.
Yes, and the first year I
Thank
didn't
God we didn't have to meet those standards, Frank.
Oh, no.
Ugh.
Yes.
and I didn't make it the first year, and they were very disappointed of me, my brothers,
Ugh.
and I was
Dummy.
very disappointed myself because you work so hard. And,
bet.
But on the second year I made it. I was already working and studying, and I went to the University of Universidad Nacional Federico Villarreal.
That's easy for you to
Okay.
say. Yeah.
And I did study accounting for 3.5 years.
Oh, my.
Until a friend of mine said, we need to go to United States. This is boring. And I say, you are absolutely right. Let's
Smart friend, huh? How
yes,
about that?
let's
That's
go.
cool.
So we asked for a visa, and they never gave it to us. So
No.
no, they never. We tried like 3 times. They never gave us a visa, but we had our mind set up. So say, okay, let's go to Venezuela. So we went to Venezuela for about a year, and then they gave us a visa to.
Now, that was before the wacko Chavez took over.
Yes.
Now, he's not your cousin or anything, is he?
No,
the guy
not at all.
that used
Not
to be
at
in
all.
Venezuela, head of head. Ugh, don't
Not
like
at
that
all.
guy. All right, he's gone anyway. Thank you.
Our ideas are totally opposite.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I agree. I assume you don't agree with that Maduro dude either.
No,
Okay.
I wish I can have a one-to-one talk with him.
Yeah. And let him know how the other side lives.
Yes.
Yeah. So how old were you when you left Brazil to come to the United States?
When I left Peru, you mean?
I mean Peru.
I
Well,
was
Venezuela.
probably 24, probably 24.
I'm getting all those countries mixed up.
Yes,
Venezuela, Peru.
24 to Venezuela, and I was probably about 25 when I got to Miami.
Okay. That's another country, so that's 3. Okay. According to the Zika people.
And the Miami Variety Children was my first job, and I went to school in the Miami. The college.
Miami-Dade
Community
Community
College.
College. Yeah, my wife went there, actually.
Southwest Campus. I study English mainly.
Oh, all right.
So I'm
Good for
still
you.
trying to learn some English. But in Miami, I didn't need it really, and I lived there for around 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, I admire you that you thought about the bigger picture than just Miami and the neighborhoods there.
Oh no, I wanted to
understood
get
the whole
out
thing.
of Miami a long time ago. But the thing is, my wife and all her family is in Miami, and she didn't want to move. So it took my time, but an opportunity came up, and I used to work with the Auto Trader magazines. Do you remember those?
Mm-hmm.
The Boat Trader, the Truck Trader,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Yacht Trader, and all those traders. So I came with that position up here. I used to have around many accounts around here.
Wow.
So you subscribe to when Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy philosophy? Stuck
Yeah.
around Miami all those years?
Because of his
Because
wife.
she wanted
yes,
to say that's what I mean.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the traffic. I will never complain about food. You know, there's delicious, all kinds of Peruvian, Colombian, and all kinds of Latin food. And I will never complain about that. I will never complain about family. I will never complain about such a lot of good people that there is down there too. But there is a lot of other kind of people that come with the wrong ideas and with the wrong motivations too. So.
Hey, Angel should be a diplomat.
I think so. He's always diplomatic in his, in his approach to everything, which is good.
So you stayed in Miami for 25 years,
Yeah.
25 years. Wow.
20-something years, yes.
Wow.
I've
didn't
been
have the
here
chance to
already,
come up here.
like, I came on 2003 to the Treasure Coast.
Okay, so you're old.
I am very old. I'm probably at least 10 years older than you are, and 20 older than.
Don't
than
build Frank up. Oh, we don't need that.
No. No, I'm probably closer to your age than you realize.
So now the magazine's headquartered in Port St. Lucie, but covers the whole Treasure Coast, right?
Yes.
So how did you get in the idea of doing the magazine
The
after you
Acre.
matriculated from one part of Peru to another part, to Venezuela to Miami to up here? How did this come about?
Well, this I like to say. First, I like to say that we do print 10,000 copies for each county.
Oh, not just
Okay,
gotcha.
not for the whole 10,000 copies for each county.
Wow.
And as a matter of fact, right now we are adding the tradition as a separate piece because they are growing so big, and we are going to print another 10,000 copies for tradition. 7,000 will go by mail, and 3,000 will just go around like like these ones. We put it everywhere, and hopefully, if that goes well, Palm City will have its own.
Wow.
Its own
Really? So-
magazine, and we will probably mail it to Martin Downs, which is over 3,000 homes, and the rest will just be around.
Distributed around
Yes.
town. Now, do you actually publish the magazine here, or is it published elsewhere?
I used to publish it in Tampa, but now I found a very good place, a little bit north of Fort Lauderdale. A very good place, and it's closer too, in case we have to drive and bring it or something.
Now, to get back personal for a second, as you talked about English, when you landed in Miami, did you fly from Venezuela?
Yes, I
Your
did.
flight here was from Venezuela. When you landed, how much English did you speak at that point?
No, really, that was a bad thing. Knowing that I wanted to come here, we shouldn't prepare. We shouldn't study a little bit more, which is my advice to anyone that comes to this country. Let me give another advice that I would love to, what I always give to anybody that comes to this country. We need to learn the language, and we need to learn the principles of this country that build this country. That way we will never divide it. We will always be part of it. But
Maybe
we
you should
don't.
run for governor of California.
Yeah.
I should.
Well, I don't know. The way things are going in California, it might be its own separate country.
Well, actually, a lot of parts of that will
they're
break away from that,
seceding.
too.
They're trying to secede right now.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah, right.
Not a whole lot of people would object,
Right.
except for the people in California that don't want to succeed from
it's-
everything. Well, it's too bad your attitude's not universal. To be very blunt about it, and somebody it was kind of funny. My wife and I were in Ireland a number of years ago, and there's a push in Ireland for everything to be Irish. That was talking about the Republic of Ireland, not Northern Ireland, and which is still part of the UK. But they were trying to push everything to be bilingual and signs to be in Irish and English, and they're not remotely the same. Actually, basically,
They're talking about Gaelic, right?
yeah, Gaelic, and which when I would see signs in that, it doesn't matter what, it might as well be Russian. You're not going to understand it.
Right.
And we stopped one time at a place to look at some old icon left over from the Roman times, a pole of some sort, mileage posting, and looked at it, and there were some Irish students there that were speaking to each other in Gaelic, and I asked them, and they said, "Oh yeah, we're trying to immerse ourselves in Gaelic," and I'm going, "Where else in the world are you going to speak Gaelic?" I mean, are you going to go to Spain
like
and get a
learning how
job
to
and speak Gaelic?
It's like learning how to speak Klingon. Like why?
Yeah.
Well,
Unless you're at a Star
I
Trek
mean, I understand the
convention.
heritage part of it.
Well, I'm
that
gonna
that
say,
that
I read
part
an
I get.
article about
But-
that, and
but-
that's what they are trying to do, because that is, as the older Irish pass away, that language is dying with them.
Right.
So they do want to keep that in their heritage, So, if those kids just want to speak Gaelic, they'll just have to talk to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That's.
But-
It was more of a time that Gaelic was going to be more important to them than English, because I shortened the conversation with them here, and I was trying to explain to them that's not going to cut it in the big picture here. It might be good for the little atmosphere that you want to create, but it's not going to cut it in the big world.
Historical concept there. It's good though. Without the code talkers from World War II, the folks that spoke Navajo, they were a big part of our success in World War II.
I met a couple of those guys, and
code
they
talkers.
are fascinating.
Neat
Or were.
people.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
dead now, but yeah, fascinating people.
Yes. And we'll be right back, so stay tuned.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to McBiz. Our final segment here. Lee Carroll here with Big Frank Mezzapel. We're done talking about Gaelic stuff. Ready to get back to Eye Care Community Magazine. This is kind of where we allow our guests to recap anything that they want to let our listeners hear about that they didn't have a chance to express earlier because we were interrupting with Zika stories and Gaelic stuff.
Right. So this is your opportunity to get out your pencil and paper, and you can write down all the information you need so you can get in touch with Angel and his company.
So we're going to turn it over to you, Angel and Gail, to fill us in on anything you want the folks to know about that we haven't covered already.
Okay, Gail, you correct me whatever I don't say it right. Okay. Okay, the philosophy behind Eye Care Community is the following. We need to know each other. Bottom line, in any community, you need to know each other. And you need to share your lives a little bit to each other. In the business community, it's the same thing. There is a business side of it, which will allow to be a little bit more knowledgeable of the doctor you want to see, whether you like their story or whether you don't like, maybe you don't want to go there. But the more you know about your neighbors, the more you know about your community, the less lonely you will feel.
Right.
And the other part of this, my philosophy is that when we put Dr. Simpson and his family here, we inspire other families that they can do the same or better. So we don't elevate them as superhuman. They are just like us.
Right.
Our kids could do the same. Instead of watching Superman and all those heroes in their mind, they should look to the real thing, hardworking people just like you and me. We are their heroes to our kids, but they have lost that kind of connection and respect. We don't have to be president of so or doctor so. We're still their heroes for our kids. And this, we create memories for the doctor, for their family, for their neighbors, for their patients. So the effects are farther deeper than what we sometimes think, just business.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. I like that very much. And I think that's my motive behind.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stick to that.
That sounds like a pretty good story. Now, if somebody said, "Okay, I'm not going to the doctor's office anytime soon. I'm not even going to get my oil changed." Is there a way that they can get the magazine electronically on the web somehow? Is there an electronic version of it that they can? Because it's free. So, is there a way they can get to the magazine?
Excuse me. All of the publications are available online, and you can get them. You just go to our website, www.eyecaretown.com. And you can click on there. You can subscribe on there. You can become a subscriber, and we will mail the publications to you as they become available. So, there's all kinds of ways to get it. You can hear about us on the radio right here on WSTU, like we are today. You can read about us in the publication, and you can do it online. And you'll find the publications, as we said, our distribution is anywhere between 10,000 to 13,000 per county. And we are going to be launching, as Angel mentioned, the new edition for Tradition. And we will be looking forward to doing the Palm City edition within the next several months. And, anybody is welcome to give us a call, 772-233-7332, to find out more information on how to get your face on the cover. I often talk to a lot of women about Eye Care Magazine, and I like to say it's not too late to be a cover girl. You can also be a centerfold. So, because if you're on the cover of our publication, you get to do a 2-page story inside, so there's your centerfold.
All right, cool.
Well, and, I mean,
That's a good sales technique. I like it. Yeah.
and we talked about the different segments, and I was looking at it here, like nutrition. The particular one we're looking at here talks about a teenager's nutritional needs, and they talk about a number of things. This isn't just some little 2-paragraph thing in here. It's a fairly extensive article, and another article about exercise. How it can help fight stress, and things that are going on that people need information for, not just from a perspective of advertisement, but actually knowledge that could help.
And that's the real success of the publication. I can't tell you how many offices that I go into where someone will say to me, it's usually the receptionist, "We love your magazine. Our readers, our people who are in here love your magazine." It's filled with timely information. And that's the key, that the people connect with this because, as you said, excuse me, the information in here is not for a specific age group. It hits on everything. It hits on children and seniors, from infants all the way up to seniors, because there's stories in here. We had information in here in our last edition on how to monitor Twitter accounts for your children.
Oh,
You know, very, very interesting article in there about, if your children are talking to you and they want a Twitter account, what do you do? How do you go about monitoring that, and what's the first step you take? That's an interesting article for a lot of the high school and preteen kids in there about the internet. So there's a lot of information in there, and as I said, we also give the opportunity for a lot of the town officials, the county officials, to have a place to connect with the residents in the county. We have articles in here by the sheriffs from Martin County. We have Will Schneider does a column in here. He may talk about the safety, shopping and scamming and different things that are going on, and how the citizens of the community can protect themselves. We've had articles in here from the fire chiefs. We've had articles in here from the mayor in St. Lucie County. The mayor up there does a column. And, these are things that, they like to connect to the people in the community and let them know what's going on. And the people in the community really appreciate that, because they're learning things about the community. And it's right there in front of them about,
That's kind of cool about the current time. I can't get much more current than telling parents what to watch out for and do for Twitter accounts on their kids, because we all know the horror stories that can come about from things like that, and the benefit of it if it's done properly, monitored properly, and things like that. And I'm sure there are still plenty of parents who haven't a clue how to do it. Or what it means, and the risks. Well, they may have a clue of what the risks are nowadays. You'd have to be in a hole not to know that. But those are the kind of things you wouldn't think about seeing in a magazine like this.
Right. And that's one of the real successes of the magazine, is that the information in there is something that people want to read and they want to hold on to.
Right.
They keep it because they want to use it for a reference, and it's timely information. It's accurate. And people enjoy it.
I would like to point out that when she talked about that they have articles about seniors, she looked at you.
She did.
Frank.
She did. Yeah, I know. It's because I'm the senior individual in the room, so it's only appropriate, I suppose.
Oh, there you go. It was just a natural reaction on her part.
Meaning she was gracious to me.
So any final thoughts? We've got a couple minutes left here. Once again, let everybody know how they can reach you guys if they're interested. I know the magazine is almost essentially full, but if somebody's listening to Dr. Fisher talk about the benefits to them and think, hey, I might be able to be a part of that, tell us once again how they can reach you guys.
Well, they can reach us at www.icaretown.com. Or they can call 772-233-7332 to inquire about how to be a part of iCare community. And we'd love to talk to anyone that's interested, and even someone who may be interested in submitting a column to us.
I was just going to ask about that. If somebody had a story idea, a column, that you would entertain that.
You can't promise that they're going to be published, but, if we have room and, and it's a timely subject and, it passes the review, it could very well be in the publication.
Well, it's good that you make yourself available that way.
And
That's
we
great.
need to give a little plug for Gail. I mean, we've known Gail for a long time, and you've been doing in this kind of publication far longer than the 6 years that Eye Care Community has existed. So you teamed up with the right lady here, Angel, when it comes to this, because she knows what she's doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Gail. Thank you, Gail. That is totally true.
Well, we appreciate both of you being on here
And we're
on
glad
our
you
show.
made it up here from Miami, and you discovered Martin County.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Miami's
too.
loss is Martin County's gain, and
Yeah.
Peru's loss is the United States of America's gain. We're very happy you were on our show.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
guys, for having us.
Thank you.
All
It's
right.
been a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Okay. And we'll. Do we know who's going to be our guest next week?
I think it's Eric Keene of
C&W
C&W Technologies.
All right.
Right.
Good. And we'll ask him about what's going on with Facebook.
There
So,
you go.
give our-
Ransomware and all kind of stuff.
Right. Okay. So, thank you very much. And then we've got the Wednesday Hump Day edition of the Golf Show with James Stammer coming up next. So stay tuned for that.
Thank you, guys. Very, very enjoyable. Very good.
Yeah, it's always fun to
Oh,
pick on Frank.
Okay. So they
He's a good foil.
Okay. I thought she might be your daughter.
Thank you.
Yeah, first time.